Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Rod here with the Hodler Fund Crypto, your new source for all things cryptocurrency. First things first, I just want to thank you guys for all the support you guys have shown me over the last 3 weeks. I have 181 subscribers today, which is absolutely a testament to you guys. Thank you for joining me in this journey. I look forward to the many good things that are coming. So, for those of you who are just jumping on for the first time, I need you to go ahead and hit that subscribe button, like the video, and turn on the bell notification so you don't get left behind on anything in the future. So let's jump into tonight's coin. And we are starting with a coin that is in a very good position right now, but could also go back and do some stuff that it did in 2017 and have an absolutely insane run here. So tonight we're talking about IOTA. And IOTA, it is a distributed ledger with one big difference. It's actually not a blockchain. Instead, its proprietary technology is known as Tangle, which is a system of nodes that confirms transactions. The foundation behind this platform says that this offers far greater speeds than conventional blockchains, an ideal footprint for the ever-expanding Internet of Things ecosystem. Because there's no blockchain, there are no miners. And because there are no miners, there are no fees. Many established networks see costs balloon when congestion intensifies, but IOTA aims to provide limitless throughput at minimal expenses. So that's really cool, right, guys? Because we're talking about so many different technologies and so many different things that are happening on the blockchain that IOTA has kind of done their own thing and still is having fantastic success with A, transaction speed, so throughput, and B, no or minimal fees is what they're stating here. So two great big things that people have with Ethereum are those two things. IOTA addresses those in their own ecosystem. So what makes IOTA unique? Well, as alluded to earlier, IOTA is a blockless blockchain, which is rather unusual to say the least, but it's also been alluded to that people should not compare IOTA to Bitcoin itself, but look at it as a platform that is trying to create cohesion and symbolic relationships within that blockchain ecosystem. So IOTA is designed to provide one solution that no other crypto does: efficient, secure, lightweight, real-time microtransactions without fees. Absolutely fantastic technicals. I want to go over some stuff that I found on the IOTA website. So again, what drives price is news, socials, and current events. So what's going on in their ecosystem? Well, the first thing we got to look at is the network migration on April 21st this year, the Chrysalis network migration. So everything is ahead. I've read through the release here on March 17th. It's been going through the testnet stages. This is big news for their ecosystem. So what are some things that IOTA is looking at doing, or where do they think they can take things? So I think one of the really cool things that IOTA is looking at is how it can affect social impacts. And so they're talking about sustainability in agriculture and identity, so borders without all the checks all the time. They're looking for citizen-centric governance, so bringing a lot of that stuff back into the end user or the people, right? So another cool thing they're looking at doing is taking their platform and going to mobility. So mobility not in the forms of communication, but mobility in the forms of communication from your car, and not to the point where we're talking about internet. We're talking about your car being used as a payment transaction for when it's getting gas, or if it's an electric charging vehicle for charging at the charge stations. Also, it's going to be using the data from the car to get you usage-based insurance so that you're not paying just a blanket insurance policy. So it's going to be some of that best suit for the needs that people are actually using in their day-to-day lives. Another really cool thing, what they're trying to do is implement some kind of smart city And the smart city itself is going to have the urban mobility management system in it to use transportation and infrastructure data to make informed decisions. It's going to be open and transparent data bases, which will essentially display and manage and analyze all that data for the city. It's also going to increase peer-to-peer collaborations, building resilient infrastructure for the sharing economy. Again, we've talked about peer-to-peer and how it works and how fantastic it is for sharing, and especially with a thing like IOTA where there's a lot of different people operating in different nodes, so it's increasing speed, so everything's happening in microseconds. So really big thing. Another platform that IOTA is trying to break out into their chain itself is global trade. So you'll be able to track and trace. So we talked a little bit about this with VeChain and being able to use it as a supply chain tracking mechanism. So IOTA is trying to get into that industry as well, or they're setting it up as we speak. Customs and borders management for tracking and tracing goods, where they've been, what's coming in, what's on this shipment. So there's some very big things that are going on here. And then the last thing that they're bringing in on their interface would be a digital identity. So they're going to solve sovereign identity. They're going to be looking at identity of things, which will allow devices to prove and authenticate who people are. And then as well, it's going to have that regulatory compliance piece in there. So really cool project, guys. I really like what this thing's doing and where it could bring us. It is really unique. It's really special. I really like the mobility stuff they're doing with smart cars and where that's going to go. Honestly, like that's kind of what we're looking at, is how do we adapt things that we use day to day and make them better. Well, they're saying by 2028, it'll be almost impossible to buy a gas-powered vehicle. Everything's going to be going to electric. So IOTA is already offering the ability for your car to talk to the charge station to make that payment. So you're not trying to make transactions yourself. Your car is doing it for you. So really cool things, really cool technicals with this project, guys. But we all jump on here because we're all price junkies. We want to know what's going on in the market and where do we think it's actually going to go. So let's pop into that right now. I'm just pulling up the chart here on my screen. So IOTA's been on a bit of a tear over the last 4 or 5 days. But I don't think IOTA's done, because IOTA, what they've done just recently, up to including overnight last night, was they built some support at a previous level of resistance, and they've gone through that rather quickly. So they are entering to that upper blue line in that channel. So that channel is kind of where things would go if they just kept plodding along without having anything happening in the ecosystem. And what we're doing right now is we're testing the upper limits of that channel. So if IOTA is able to break through this channel, guys, and build some support just outside of it, watch for this thing to absolutely take off. Now, the all-time high on this is $5.79. It's currently trading just over $2.10 right now as we speak. So there's some room for it to run. That in itself is almost a 3x to get up to the all-time high. But I'm not looking for this to go back and just touch that all-time high, guys. In 2017, when IOTA was at $1.35, I believe it was, I just read some technicals on it, it did a 16x. That's a 1600% jump. Don't go crazy on me. 1600%. So 16x in the bull run of 2017. So I'm super bullish on it. It's showing great peripherals on the charts today. Where do I think it's going to go? Well, it's done some plotting already. So I don't think that we have a 16x in it. But picture this. Do you think that IOTA could get in at a $15 mark this year? I do. I really do. I really do. I honestly think that IOTA at a $15 mark, which would be a 7.25x from here, 8x, let's call it $16, guys. I honestly do feel that IOTA has that in it. Especially with the launch on April 21st with some news and how that ecosystem is going to transform and make things easier for them to compute transactions. I really do think that there's some big movement coming through for IOTA. Everybody's starting to talk about it again and just how great of a project this is. So like I said, don't go out and buy today. Look for your signals. You know, we spoke the other night about Cartesi. I've been waiting for that buying signal. Unfortunately, yesterday I had a really busy day. I missed it and I didn't FOMO into it. But so same thing with this. Wait for that buying signal. Don't buy at the top and sell at the bottom. It's really hard to time the market, guys. And the last thing you want to do is FOMO into it and wish that I wish I had waited for this to retrace a little bit. Or I wish I had waited to see if this was going to set up some support, you know, what they're going to call resistance right now. But if we can get some resistance going across and then move up, it's now going to be there as support. So really like the technicals on where this is at. I think in the month of April alone, just before the news, we could see this thing just 2x, maybe even 3x. So to say that in this bull run it's going to 8x, I don't think that's out of the picture for IOTA. But those are just my opinions, guys. I'm not a financial advisor. But let me know. Drop me a line below. Let me know where you think IOTA's heading. I know many of you aren't shy to point out that you think with market caps and certain situations that you don't think it'll ever get there. But that's fine. We could talk about it. I'm up for the debate. I want you guys to go ahead and smash the like button if you think IOTA's got a lot more in it than just a 3x. And as Crypto Jeb says, if you really want to let me know you dislike this video, you got to hit that subscribe button. And then you got to hit the like button. And apparently that sets off an algorithm for YouTube that'll let me know that you're disliking the content. Okay, guys? Anyways, that's what I got for tonight. IOTA's where it's at. Go do some research on it. Look for a buying signal and get into it if you can. But that's it for tonight, guys. Protect yourself. Don't wreck yourself. Hodler FUD out.